Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. And we're here to talk about The Amazing Race Australia, episode 7, 8, and 9.
That's right. Turkey Week coming at you guys. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And hello, welcome.
Hello.
I do want to start by saying condolences to our Aussie friends who lost their queen. You also, Canadian, all Commonwealth. I am an Anglophile. I wish.
Oh, you poor thing.
I wish she was my queen. Very sad. I have been following all of it. Actually cried. And those of you who know me,
I feel like maybe you should have got it on tape, maybe did a TikTok
or something,
because I don't know how much I believe you. Like, were there real tears?
Yeah, I know, right? I really should have documented it because it is so shocking. But you know, when I'm like, oh, I got like teary, like moisture doesn't actually leave my body. But I did some full on sobbing at news. Yeah, like actual. We'll have to get Douglas on to my husband to verify that I was full on sobbing at the loss of Queen Elizabeth. She just represented so much. So just want to say condolences to our Aussie friends watching. But we do have some interesting episodes here in Turkey to talk about.
Yeah, starting off with Beau quarantined and stuck in Greece. And I'm just like, are we traveling too soon? Mm-hmm. What's happening that we're not able to make sure that everybody's completely safe? Like, it seems like though it's, a milder version than it was a couple of years ago. Absolutely.
Sure.
But I don't know, when we lose a team and then there's teams that are just like sitting in a hotel quarantine, ready to come back in, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me.
Well, it's tough. I mean, a lot of people are, sitting at home going, come on, get back into the normal world. Let's travel again. Let's make these TV shows. And then, Amazing Race Australia gave it a shot and it turned into a hot mess. I mean, first one team, then a second team, now the host. Now, I do want to say, Beau, you're too much of a toucher. Stop hugging people.
He hugs every single person. But did you notice, though, with the replacement, that it was all fist bumps?
Yeah, like a smart person. Like, I'm not a hugger in general. And then after COVID, I was like, wonderful. Now other people will understand that I will never hug you ever again. Like, unless you are related to me,
I'm never going to hug Sarah.
Okay, I might hug you. I might exaggerate a little bit, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to hug everyone on my crew, every team that crosses the mat. I feel like Beau is a big hugger, so I am not surprised the man is now sitting in a hotel.
He's a Taurus, though, so it would make sense. Taurus loves things that are sensual, touchy, tactile. And
they are the touchiest. I was going to ask, is he a Taurus?
Yes.
Those are the touchiest people I have ever met. My sister, who's just a rising Taurus, she has, like, if she's sitting next to me, she has to be touching me. She has to have like an elbow on me. Like, she is so touchy.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the same with my brother. He'll kill me for saying this probably, but he had this blanket. He called it his goo-goo blanket that he used to always just go and carry around with him, so he could just be touching this blanket this whole time. He's a Taurus, and so like he always needed to just like hold this blanket and touch this blanket and cuddle with this blanket, and it's very funny.
That is interesting. My nephew, who's my sister's son, is a Taurus. Now, he's only 1 year old, but you can already see, like, he will not touch you, right? Yeah. And she now laughs with me because she'll send me photos of, like, he does the same thing. He just has, like, one hand on her at all times. And she's like, oh, this is karma. This is payback. And I'm like, yes. Yes. Now you will always be touched. That's what you get. But yeah, I mean, exactly. He's spreading love and kindness, and you just can't do it anymore.
Not yet. Maybe in a year or two. Maybe.
Well, but like traveling, you're going to get it. Hugging, you're going to get it. Like, these are just the It's just the world we live in right now. So I have to say, though, Bo in a hotel room, even funnier than Bo on the mat.
It's fine by me.
He's hilarious.
He loves his job, and I love his job for him. Like, just like,
Yes.
you know, always making these phone calls and room service, and like, he just loves the bit.
Yeah.
And like, he probably is like the part of the creative team and be like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do this. They get really excited about it, and I appreciate it. I enjoy him.
Yeah, he obviously didn't get like super sick. Like, he was able to still talk and not like snot all over the place. So yeah, I appreciated that a lot. All right. Stewart and Glennon are the other team that are now quarantining as well.
And they're so far in the back of the pack, you'd think that they didn't touch anybody, but maybe it was Bo. Maybe Bo is
maybe they went and had a beer with Bo afterwards, and they were being buds, and unfortunately it didn't work out for them. Our first here little challenge is belly dancing, and our hubbies are Turkisha and Delight heading
cute.
over. Love them so much. They're going to arrive first with Churchies and the cops. But Flick and Gabby can swoop in, try first, but not pass it. I did like this philosophy, though.
Absolutely, because like they might like they're gonna set the bar maybe of like how good it's gonna be. Because like if there's somebody that's say a professional dancer and they go in, they get it really quickly, they get all the steps perfectly, and like it's super tight, then that's kind of like the bar has been set for the rest of the team. So if they go first and kind of set the bar as to like what the expectation is for these teams, they'll be like, okay, I will get it on our next try. Like this was this was the bar. Like we'll do better next time. So
yeah, so prepare the judge and be like, it's not gonna be great, guys.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, but it's also like, is this good enough?
Yeah, exactly. Can we squeak by here?
You want to pass that? No? Okay.
I didn't even think it was that bad. I thought it could have been passed.
It could have been, but yeah, it wasn't good enough. And I appreciate that. Like, don't just give it to people. Need some perfect steps and some flair.
It was a very simple routine, though, I would have to say. It was just a couple of little shimmy. You know, they had to use those wings. What kind of wings were they? Fairy wings? But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty easy routine, but some people found it a little more challenging.
Apparently, because we're going to get a bunch of fails here. Just montage of no. But Paco and Maury are going to be able to get out first here on their second attempt. So not too shabby there. And Churchy friends and sisters are going to head out second and third.
So how are we starting to feel about Churchy friends?
Well, my next note here is they get in an accident in their cab, and Angel says, keep going.
Well, okay, I agree that, like, I was like, oh my goodness, like, did they hit someone or she's just like drive off? But it seems like they were T-boned, and it would have been the hit was on their side of the car, like on like Frankie's side. So it wasn't like a person or like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize it, but it's bad.
This isn't a good look, Angel. Like, I'm trying to not be against you. But when you tell your cab driver, don't worry about the car accident that you just got in, to keep going because you're in a race.
How did you feel about afterwards when she's like, I can't believe you did that. You almost killed us. Now go.
I was like, oh God. I was like, there's that Aries moon I'm predicting right there. Flying out of her mouth.
I definitely was like, ugh, that's not great. I was trying to rationalize it, but I don't think I can.
Yeah, no, I mean, when she yelled at the end, I was like, I'm not even surprised, because you do, like, someone hits you, your adrenaline just like shoots. Like, you do get scared for a minute, but then I'm like, of course she's like just gonna yell at the guy, and that's helpful for everybody. Okay, thank you. No, I'm struggling with Angel. Not Frankie. Frankie seems great.
I love Frankie.
Yeah.
I almost have a crush on Frankie. almost. But the fact that like it seems like he's in love with her, that means he has poor taste, poor judgment.
Oh, Frankie. So let's get you some therapy. What's going on here? Back of the pack here, though, cops are really struggling with this dance. It takes them 6 attempts, and they're going to come out of this last place.
And I feel bad, though, when it's like these dancing ones, like, because I know some people really, really struggle with memorizing choreography. And like,
Mhm.
even for myself, I used to be able to pick up choreography in like a second. I watch it once, I would know the whole thing. As
Yeah,
I've gotten older and not been dancing as often, even for myself, I find it more challenging to remember steps in the order like as easily as I
sure.
did when I was younger. So not having that training and that practice and coming in to memorize steps, like, and if you're not that coordinated, I could imagine it be very challenging.
Yeah, it can be very hard for people. That's why I love a dance challenge on these because some people just really struggle memorizing steps and are just not coordinated. You can be great at a lot of things and not be coordinated, and it's so fun to watch.
How's your dancing skills? Are you coordinated? I feel
Great.
like you would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up taking dance class. I was never the best. I was never in the front row of a dance routine, but I can dance. Yeah.
Yes, I love a dancer.
I've danced professionally. I have been hired to dance, so
Me too.
not horrible.
Were you ever a cheerleader? Oh, that would be
No.
amazing.
No, I've always had little scrawny arms. I have no upper body strength. This looked silly on me. Mm.
Oh, we have to get you on The Amazing Race and do a cheerleading task now.
Oh, y'all would be making fun of me. Yeah, the sisters saw the car accident and they genuinely were like, oh my God, that's terrifying. Are they okay? Yeah. Like a
Absolutely,
normal,
considering they do not particularly enjoy Angel. They're like, "Oh, that sucks.
right,
Oh, that's terrible. That's really bad." Like, they still had empathy for Angel and Frankie for being involved in whatever that accident happened.
right.
Mhm.
Like a normal human being.
Normal.
Magic carpet ride. This is a fun little twist on a challenge. You're basically skateboarding, although it's electric, but it's got a little carpet. It's very cute, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was cute as well. I couldn't understand the difficulty part of it. Was the partner giving it the speed? And then the
Hmm.
person that was on the carpet was kind of just, like, maneuvering it? Is that how it was together,
Yeah,
right?
it seemed like the person with the remote control was like giving it the gun, you could either go slow or faster, but the person on it had to obviously maneuver it side to side. And they did have a break though, which was funny because a lot of people I don't think realized that they could break. And
Mm.
then they're like yelling at their partner as they're like flying through the end. And they're like, stop it, stop it. And they're like, no, you stop it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun and creative. Now, do you think this was something that the race created, or do you think it's something that actually happens in Turkey?
No, I feel like this was created. I don't know.
I mean, this was pretty creative,
Yeah.
to be fair. That I've been talking about The Amazing Race Canada, and I've been finding that some of the tasks are just a little bit, makeshift. But this one I thought was a
Mm,
good creative task, like
yeah.
putting all heads in to create something really fun.
Yeah, and it was clearly somewhat challenging. So
Hmm.
I appreciate that because people are going to have to try this a few different times, sort of figure it out. We've got somewhat like a basic skateboard course, but specific rules that they have to follow here. Paco and Maury, our hubbies, are going to have to do it again because he didn't quite know he was supposed to weave the first time, but they're still going to get out first before any of the other teams are even arriving.
Yeah, and I was just happy. Like, usually we're like, oh, we want to see things shake up and mix up and like, there'll be a little bit of drama. And really, I just like seeing him in the front. I love them leaving before anybody gets there. I'm just like, you
Yep.
guys are such a joy. Like, I'm on this magic carpet ride with you two. Stay in the front of the pack.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The church friends, Angel and Frankie, are going to come in and out second. Morgan and Lily, our
Where
blondes,
did they
are
come
going to
from?
all of a sudden be in third place because they're like, yeah, skateboarding, we do that.
Got this.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm assuming because it was them two that were in Whistler, correct? So they probably snowboard. So they
Yes.
probably have a really good idea how to have that kind of like side
Yeah.
body control. So yeah, good
Right.
on them.
So exciting to see that. Flick and Gabby, they're struggling so much they swap. Whoever it was that started, they decide to swap, and the second person started, which is now like a new learning curve. But you know, I guess that's what you have to do if you're just not getting it. And then all of a sudden, we see them get it. they're hugging and celebrating, and the judge is like, no, you didn't stop there at the end. And then she's just so defeated that she has to do it again.
Oh, I felt bad for them. This, especially because they've been doing so well in the race up until this point.
Yes.
And like, this has been the only thing so far that they've been terrible at. And so, you know, the joy of thinking that they did it well enough
Like,
to be able to
finally.
move on, and then be like, sorry,
Oh,
that wasn't good enough.
that was heartbreaking. That was so hard to watch because you're just at your wit's end at this point. But then Tiffany and Cynthia, our aunt and niece, show up, and is it Cynthia? Which one's younger? Tiffany? I don't know. But the niece is going to be like, yeah, I skateboard. Cool. And she just nails it on the very first try.
I love when people do well and excel.
Yeah.
So I was happy for them because last couple episodes were kind of like, meh, did they need to be saved? Meh,
No,
are they bringing
right?
that much? But I like when people do well at things. So that made me endeared to them a little bit more. So I'm looking out for them a little bit more.
Right. Yeah. No, they're still not bringing much to me. But I did love that. Yeah, she excelled at something. That's exciting. And then, yeah, Lauren, our cop, she's like, I have a skateboard. Let's go. And she
So
nails
cute.
it as well. They are able to make up some spots with this. And then sweet Crystal and Reem left there as the last team.
Oh,
Not getting it.
yeah. But you know what, though? I have to say, their attitude throughout the race is very enjoyable. And
Yes.
so they're just having the time of their life, even if they're not doing that well. They seem to me to be very positive. And even though they're at the back of the pack, and I'm like, no, like, come on, you could do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
They don't put that much crazy pressure on themselves, and they still have a good time. So
Yeah, there was a random man. She's like, excuse me, what? And like some dude just walking in her. Oh gosh. Yeah, they have such a great relationship with each other and a positive outlook. It's really enjoyable to watch them. After the magic carpet ride, we're going to move on to a roadblock. I think the clue said who's sheepish or
who feels sheepish.
who feels sheepish.
Mm-hmm.
That can go a couple different ways. I understand it doesn't necessarily mean a food challenge, but it's going to factor in. Yeah.
Yes. Who feels sheepish? I don't know. Neither of us would actually be sheepish, so it would be a tough.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought is like wrangling sheep or working with sheep, and I am an animal person, so I'd be like, sure, I'll do this.
Well, I was thinking like if it's sheepish, like kind of shy, like maybe doing something on a stage or in front of the people of Turkey. So that's where I would go, and I wouldn't be shy. So I'd probably say yes as well.
Right. I think my second thought, whenever an animal is listed,
right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. The next one is like, oh no, would I have to eat a sheep? That's where I'd be like, uh-oh. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We are taking sheep guts and we're wrapping a skewer with them, and then you're going to eat them.
I mean, I've never had it.
Nope,
I am sure that it's good to a certain extent. I don't really eat meat anymore, so it wouldn't have been something that I would have. I hadn't tried it before I stopped eating meat, so it wouldn't have been something that I would do any other time other than the race.
Yeah.
But
oh gosh.
I'd be able to do it pretty easily.
Yeah, if I'm reading a menu and it's like intestines, I'm gonna say hard pass on that. But this is definitely a challenge that I could have like powered through, even though it was disgusting to watch. The hubbies are gonna arrive first. Maury's like, oh, whoops, I have a weak stomach, and he is just the way he is trying to not pay attention to what he's doing.
Yeah.
And power through this was really hilarious. Yeah. And then just talking about it later, he's like, so gross.
I mean, that would be the grossest part because they're talking about how what they're cleaning out of the intestines and like thinking about what they're actually doing was grossing them out, and then the fact that they were going to be eating it after, they're just like, oh,
woo, yeah, that's tough. But Angel's gonna have no issues here. She's gonna fly in second place, but come out first place, she does her skewer beautifully. She goes into the restaurant and she says to us, I'm not good with foreign foods, I think is how she phrased it. And I was like, I hate that statement because that just makes you sound like my culture, like eat other people's culture food. Like, I just don't understand that. But then she scarfed those intestines down and thought they were the most delicious things she's ever had.
Well, it might be because she hasn't tried a lot of different things, but like maybe she just needs to do that. You know what I mean? Like maybe she's like, okay, I've always been maybe a picky eater and I've never really ventured outward and tried other things. But like when she does, maybe then she starts liking more things. I remember when I was like 20 years ago, I was doing some promo work and there was this girl that did not eat anything. Like literally, like she never had mustard before, never had ketchup. No, like she would have like chicken fingers and macaroni and cheese were the only things that she's ever eaten in her life.
Yeah.
But then we were trying to be like, hey, do you want to try something? And we made her start trying these little things. And she started to open up her palate and her taste buds. So it just could be that she's a creature of habit and that when she starts trying new things, she might start liking new things.
Yeah, I always hope that people try new things. I had a friend like that in high school who only ate chicken nuggets and potatoes. And I was like, girl, get your life together. But we're not friends anymore, so I don't know if she ever got her life together.
I love food so much that like I can't even imagine not having experienced so many different types of cuisines. Like that's like my favorite part of going away is like, ooh, get to try the local food.
Yes.
Like that's so what I love. And I've also worked in restaurants, so that could also be why my palate is a little bit open here. But like I love flavor.
Yeah, I'm so willing to try. As long as it's not guts, I'm willing to try. I didn't notice that Tammy gave Georgia Vicks Vapor Rub, but that is very nice to help with the smell. That's a good hack in general. This is when we see Georgia realizing in the cab that it's a food challenge and she is going to start to get emotional. This is going to be a tough journey for her, but Georgia powers through. She's so discombobulated when she gets in. She's like, where do I start? What do I do? She's like just trying to get through it. And I felt that.
I was kind of like just slightly rolling my eyes with like the taxi ride and just was like, okay, like, come on. Like, I can't believe that you have to do this. And like, he was being very supportive, but it was a little bit of an eye roll for me. Would you be like, if you want to take a pedal? Like, I was just like, no, make her do it. Like, anyways, I was just being annoyed.
Well, I think that's the polite thing to do is say, hey, it's okay. Take the pressure off of your partner. But then hope that deep down your partner's like, no, I'll do it.
Fair. But I was very happy that she completely pulled through, powered through. So like all that, like, I don't want to go through this for a long period of time and her crying about it, like either choose to do it or not do it. But she didn't do that at all. So I'm happy with how she handled it in the end.
So Maury and whichever blonde was doing this, they do need 2 attempts for the wrapping, but they're able to get out second and third place. And then we see Chelsea just showing her butt. Like, what are you doing, Chelsea?
She's going to have to watch this back.
Together.
She needs like a realization of how terrible she treats that man.
I'm concerned about her. I mean, she treats him terribly. She's literally yelling at him in front of everybody. People are like looking. He starts singing "You Look Like a Ding Dong," which makes me think this is just their dynamic, right? He's so used to this that he's got a song about it, about how she looks like a ding dong. And I was like, Chelsea, I think that you might need to speak to a professional. Like, I feel like she's maybe chemically imbalanced or something. Like, just the like way she can yell and then the way she can cry and just be all over the map. I'm a little concerned about her.
Absolutely. Well, and anytime that you can't regulate your emotions a little bit better, it is a cause for concern. You know, like just talking about like Big Brother that just happened at the beginning of the season, there was a person on there that like we started noticing things that just seemed a little bit too extreme. And it did happen that she was kind of having some sort of, episode. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she does have a chemical imbalance or something that would lead her to have these kind of swings and not being able to really curb her emotions to be appropriate to the situation.
Right, exactly. Manage it to appropriate. And I say drugs are fine. Go for it, Chelsea. Get on them drugs.
Maybe no drugs on the show. Maybe.
Well, if she had to stop for the show, that's another thing that would be really hard for someone to do. If that's the case, I am not a doctor, and I'm not saying that is the case, but I'm just saying that yes, I endorse some drugs.
Is that going to be part of the new merch?
Yes, I'm going to make a t-shirt. I endorse some drugs. Not all of them, but some of them. This was tough to watch, Chelsea's behavior. But then our teachers, Kelly and Georgia, and Crystal and Reem, our Middle Eastern friends, are our last teams there. But Crystal and Reem are going to pass Kelly and Georgia here at the end.
Which is, I like Kelly, Reem and Crystal better than I like Kelly and Georgia personally. So I was happy about this.
Gevricks. Are they like donuts or are they like bagels?
They look more like a bagel to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it seemed like, or a pretzel, you know what I mean?
A bit harder, yeah. A pretzel in the shape of a bagel. You've got to transfer them on a pole, but you got to do 200. You have to do 100 each. That was the key to this clue. I don't think it was just 200 total. It was 100 each, which got a couple people in trouble there. But our church friends here are going to arrive first. They don't read the clue clearly, and they think they're done, but they do have to go back and get
more. They're just like, that's
the only English word that man spoke. And they're like, I don't know what he's like, la 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 la, and they're like, what? Until a producer told him to say more, and he's like, more. When the hubbies dropped a bunch and they're like, we mean no disrespect. That was so funny.
Well, they did say that in the clue, though. That
yes.
I was like, they're such sweeties.
And then, like, a man is literally like praying over the ones that are dropped, or something to that effect. He was like bowing a bit to the ones that fell.
And everybody was helping them with collecting them, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like putting them back on, as if like we do have to respect this food item. But it was very sweet that they were like, oh, no.
I think I just researched this. Like, I want to know, like, what's the tradition around the respect part of this food and transporting it.
Right. Well, I mean, if you have to transport it that way, but then if you drop it, like, oh, gosh, that's a lot of pressure.
In the clue, it said, like, it has to stay above shoulder level. Is that what it said?
I didn't read the clue, but that's what we hear.
Okay.
Has to be above, carry it above your shoulder. I think it was like very sly, just like carry it above your shoulder and don't drop it.
Say a majority of the people did not, like maybe at shoulder level and lower, which I was fine with personally. Like, I know that's what it said in the clue, but like, I totally thought that it was kind of fair. Like, I don't know. It's not that possible that for that many people to hold it over their head, you know?
Well, make it hard on them. Like, you can't hold it low, but apparently it is a religious thing to not hold it low. Like, that's part of the disrespect thing. You got to do it a certain way. Mm-hmm. So it is interesting. I don't remember if the early teams were all over the place.
Angel and Frankie, I feel like they were holding it like this. I feel like Maury and Maury, what are their names? Paco and Maury were holding it like this, where it wasn't always like this. You know what I mean? It was kind of there.
A couple drop. Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, I feel like a lot of people were around that area. And nobody was regulating it except for...
Right. Except for our two narcs that we're going to talk about here in a minute. Let's see. The Angel and Frankie, they're going to finally finish out here first, and they're going to go shoe shopping.
I couldn't even believe this. I'm like, you have time to buy running shoes right now on the way to the pit stop. That's so
I was like,
bold.
please get second place. Please get second place. The hubbies, they kind of meet up with the aunt and niece and Tiffany and Cynthia, and they're like, you'll get lost, follow us. So they do follow them. Chelsea drops all of hers, gives up, and starts storming around. And Jameis is so supportive and is like, what's going on? It's okay.
I don't understand how, like, I mean, I understand why she's on the race, because she's quite entertaining. Like, it's wild to watch. Their dynamic especially. But why does it get so, like, it's really gets to her in these very small things. Like, it's not necessary. It's not going to be helpful to react in this way. And I'm wondering, like, it's making me want to psychoanalyze the situation even more, to be like, what's really going on here?
I just love how supportive Jameis is. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. He's always like,
that's my girl.
Like, yeah, we got it. You got it. Let's go. What's wrong? Like, he is always supportive. It's just such a like night and day of their personalities. The aunt and niece and the hubbies, they're going to be our second and third place coming out of this. And then as we get to the back of the pack here, guys, we've got our teachers, Kelly and Georgia, our boat moms, Jody and Claire, and our Middle Eastern friends, Crystal and Reem. They're our last teams running around trying to deliver these things. And how do we feel about Kelly and Georgia? Just classic teacher behavior, being like, I'm going to tattletale on another team who's not doing it right.
I hated it. And I was like, okay, I knew I didn't really care for this team, and now this is solidified. Now, I understand there are rules, et cetera, but there are also people there that are supposed to be, you know, the judges of these things. So for them to take it upon themselves to be like, hey, did you guys notice that it kind of went a little bit low? Like, that I don't really like. If there are people there to judge, adjudicate, or whatever this task, and they don't say anything, then I think it should be fair game. And it really irritated me, and especially with the outcome.
I am a stickler to rules. I get it. And especially if you're on the race and it says to do it a certain way, you think that's the way that it should be done. I think because Kelly and Georgia kept harping on, it's harder to hold it up here. So people doing this are getting away with it being, it's easier. So I would then say, okay, then I'm going to go down. And if there's a producer or whoever it is that would judge that kind of stuff, say, I'm going to go down. They're doing this. So I'm going to do this, right? We're okay to do that. Then you're kind of half still telling on someone. But if it's okay, you're still getting away with being able to do the easier way. If you're just telling, if you're just like, look what they're doing.
Yeah, they're doing it wrong.
It comes across.
I'm doing it right.
Yeah, that's a different energy when you're like, look at them and they're not doing it right.
Look at me, though. I'm doing it right. So I should get the gold star.
Right. I don't know.
So I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. If they like, I get the rules, but like how you handle it says something.
Well, and also it's kind of like a little bit mind your business, right? Like, I don't know, just stay out of it. I mean, I am a stickler for rules. If we're playing a board game and people go against the rules, like I've ended some friendships over like people not wanting to follow the rules in a game. So
yeah,
it does bother me. But the tattling part of it, I don't really abide by.
Yeah, don't you think there's a there's somebody if the producers there. Are not, honestly, I think deep down I'd be like, I guess the producer is going to ding them for it later. Like, I would probably just assume to stay out of it because the producer's going to ding them for it later.
Mhm.
I might not have even said anything, just assuming like they're not following the rules. But yeah, I don't know. Were the producers not caring?
Or maybe when they got to the guy, they'd be like, "Hey, like you got to go, but do it two more times because you didn't have it at the right level." And they'd be like, "Oh man." You know what I mean? I don't. So
Mhm.
I agree with you. The way that it was handled was like the biggest eye roll of the episode for me. I was like, okay, teachers, like go in there and tattle on these poor, sweet young women.
Yeah, and it's a shame that it's Crystal and Reem because they're just adorable and have such a great positive energy. And here they are being like, "I guess we did it wrong. We have to go back and do it again."
And I know that like equal men women in these shows, like you don't necessarily want to have things to be too like this is a male task and this is a female task, but they are a female team,
Yeah.
and upper body strength is slightly more challenging for majority of women to just we just don't have that as good as most an average man would. And
Mhm.
so the fact that it's going to be easier for him to be able to do that regardless also irritates me a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, Shafika's updating us on the custom. So wasting food, which
yes.
I hate wasting food. So
Mhm.
thank you. That I can get on board with. I always think about that with these shows. I'm like, you guys are wasting so much food.
Oh, I know. I've worked on a cruise boat before, and basically they just upsell on the food, and then we just throw away platters and platters, and I'm just like, ugh, it's so much waste.
I hate that. Okay, so our boat moms are going to be here at the end with Crystal and Reem. There are last two teams that come out. Kelly and Georgia, your snitching worked. You're going to not be last place.
Mm-hmm. I was just hoping. I was like, please make it karma makes it so that they come in last still, but no, they were third to last. So
karma's still
it's still out there.
Yep.
Still out there.
Sometimes it hits you fast. Sometimes it's a bit delayed. All right, let's go to our pit stop here. We've got Ada, the robot, filling in for Bo.
It's cute.
This last minute notice. I do love a robot, though.
Even Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yes, even Sam. I mean, I loved it for 2 days, and then I was like, oh gosh, this is bad. Angel and Frankie, our churchy friends, even though they stopped to go shopping for shoes, they do come to their senses and are still going to be able to make it here in first place. They win a trip to SeaWorld or something like that. That's what I have written down here. Paco and Maury, our hubbies, coming in second as they should. Cynthia and Tiffany in third place. What?
There you go.
Where did that come from? Morgan and Lily, our blondes, coming in fourth. Is great for them as well. And then Flick and Gabby are going to round out our fifth, which I can't remember. I did not look at my notes, but this is starting to get low for Flick and Gabby. A fifth place is low for them.
Yeah, that's the lowest I think that they've gone so far. But we did see that they had trouble. They had trouble on a task, and they still are at the top half of the pack. So I think that it bodes well because now they know okay, this is where I need maybe a little bit of help here or work on this. And so I think it still could mean that they could do well in this race. I think.
I was like, is this in post that they were making Ada say the things over and over again, or was it really in the moment that she was
I think it was in post
glitching. I was like, yeah, this feels like a bit they added later
because they didn't react to the glitching. So
they just kind of were like, okay, and I feel like they felt like nothing's happening. Let's add something here, which was just silly. But I appreciate it. All right, sixth place is Chelsea and Jameis. See, it's not the end of the world, Chelsea. You're doing just fine. Tammy and Vincent, our scientist siblings, seventh place. Steph and Lauren, eighth place, our cop couple. Toddy and Fliss, our country kids, are ninth. And Heath and Tony round out our top 10 there. So back of the pack here, Kelly and Georgia, our tattletaling teachers is now how I will refer to you. They're going to come in 11th place. Jody and Claire our Dragon Boat moms are going to be able to pull it out here in 12th place, meaning Sweet Crystal and Reem, who show up at the mat and the sky is much darker. I was like, this was not nearly as close as the editing wanted us to think. They're coming in last place and they are eliminated by a robot.
I mean, they are sweet and I really enjoyed them, but I didn't really see them winning the race. So it didn't surprise me that they're out right now. They ran, I guess it was 7 legs. Like, they did pretty well.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Fine.
7 legs is good. Yeah, I mean, I guess they were always kind of middle of the pack, but I really did enjoy watching them. So I was bummed to lose them at this point.
Well, definitely I didn't want to lose them, and I didn't want to lose Dragon Boat Mom. So
True. I don't want to lose either of them.
I could have lost the Tattletales, but they were faster.
Yeah, I felt really bad for them being eliminated by a robot, but luckily we got Bo on FaceTime and he did say, "I'll hug you later," of course, and give them a little bit of a
He's
goodbye.
like, "What happened?" He was so, I felt like he likes them as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like, what went wrong? And they're just like, "Oh, we still had a good time. It was great." Like, they're cute. So
yes,
I like that bit.
They're going to be good friends. Okay, moving on to episode 8, we're going to Ismar. And this is when we learn that Scott Tweedy is going to be our guest host. And
so
we'll see
who's
him later.
This?
Yeah, that's what I said. At first, I didn't even hear his last name. I had to do some Googling.
I just wrote down replacement. Yeah. That's what his name was in my notes.
I did find him. We can talk about it at the end, or we can talk about it now, because there was only one team on the mat who even knew who he was.
So Prank Patrol, was that what I heard?
Yes. So I looked up Scott from Prank Patrol because I was like, who the heck is this? And those pictures are old. Like, he was young when he hosted a show called Prank Patrol, which I would imagine these girls watched as little kids because they're still very young. But he looks so much better now. Like, he's a bit more distinguished. He's got some silver in his hair. Like, I think he was a handsome man, but like, these photos of him on Prank Patrol were silly.
I definitely didn't look it up, but now I'm curious.
Yes, Aussies, tell us about Prank Patrol.
Yes.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for popping in.
Prank Patrol. I feel like, is that something that was like all over? Like, or is it only an Australian thing?
I didn't see that it was outside of Australia. And it also seems like hasn't been on in a while. Like, this is an old show. This is definitely a part of your childhood, people are saying.
Oh, okay. There's one in Canada. That's why I'm like, okay. I feel like I know this. It was on YTV, Young People's Theater.
Okay, it has international versions. I see.
Yes. Okay. So I was like, there's a Prank Patrol in Canada.
Well, do they do pranks?
I believe so. Yeah, there's 100 episodes, so that's a significant run.
I think it sounds like Paw Patrol to me, which is a cartoon here in the U.S.
Not that. But I've auditioned for many voices for Paw Patrol.
Oh, yay. It's a kid version of Punks, it seems. Okay. Yeah, I loved Scott Tweedy. Obviously, I don't know him, but he does a good job of trying to fill into Bo's shoes, which is going to be very, very hard to do.
Absolutely. I definitely enjoyed him. Oh, yeah, he does look good now. Let's see what he looked like before.
I don't.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Before?
No.
It's so like early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate just of the time period of the hair, but I was just like, oh wow, he actually looks better now, older.
Way better now. He's so cute now. Comparatively.
Yeah. No, I thought he was cute. I mean, he's cute. But now he's like handsome. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we got a self-drive to Kim's farm. And Angel says, I don't know how people survived with maps. And I was like, girl, I'm trying with you. Stop it.
I mean, I love a good map. I always talk to people and be like, I remember the days when I first had my license and I would go to the library to print out MapQuest so I'd have the
Yes.
directions on where I was going.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and then I would remember everywhere where I was going because I had to use a map to get there.
Yes. Yes.
And I used to always be like, I'm not using GPS. Like, how do you remember where you're going? And so, yes.
Maps. I love maps. I actually have maps hanging on my wall as artwork. That's how much I like maps. I think maps are cool, and they definitely help you when you turn 16 years old. You look at a map, you print out the map quest. We have a thing called Thomas Guide in Los Angeles. When I moved out here, you had to flip and be like, page 42, GN, that's where I'm going. And you had to read a map.
I totally remember those days. Holy cow.
So Angel being all like, how did people work with maps? I was like, get out of my face.
Like,
Child.
GPS is, I mean, it's very helpful, GPS.
Yeah,
like, it makes
I love
things
it.
super quick and whatever. But I tend to still want to look at where I'm going, even if I have the GPS on. I'm be like, okay, I'm going here, then going here, then going here. So I don't know. It could be because I'm conditioned to like wanting to understand how a map is. But yeah, I couldn't just rely on the GPS. I would need to know where I'm going still.
Yeah, like I appreciate GPS. It is very helpful, but if you don't know how to read a map, that's like not understanding math.
Do you think they stopped teaching that?
I don't know, but like that's a basic. That's like grammar. That's like,
is it
just,
though?
It should be understanding
like,
maps, like geography.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that's not like road to road, but like you should understand a map.
It might be obsolete at this point, right?
No,
like
no.
Well, like they got rid of cursive writing as something to teach because people don't write anymore. Like I was like,
cursive is dumb, but you still know how to write.
Cursive is dumb. No, Sarah, I love cursive. Oh, so you're just like a printer?
I actually have like a hybrid. I do
have a hybrid, but like,
yeah, my print is,
but like I prefer
slightly
to handwrite.
cursive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love handwriting. But
look at my notes. It's like my handwritten notes.
No, that's silly. That's a waste of paper. Okay. No, I have everything digital. But I mean, I'd love calligraphy, nice envelope on an invitation, sure, but like, whatever. We have wandered off significantly.
But but back to where we were is that I'm not sure if they teach map reading anymore in school.
Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, good. Diva's 5-year-old loves a map. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Keep that going. Yes. Maps are
cool.
important. You guys are my people. Thank you. Yeah. What if your phone battery dies? What if you got no cell service? Like, come on.
Well, they still sell maps, so that's a good thing.
Hey, he hosts E? I used to watch E.
Back in the day, me too.
While.
Yeah.
I think I might be out of the loop on E, but that's exciting. I'll see if I can find Scott some more. Okay, that's when Angel made me mad. And then, but then to the other end of that extreme, the boat moms don't know how to put coordinates into a GPS, which I understand is a different step than you're used to. But
I mean, I'm not sure what the difficulty is, but like, are you putting in like the latitude, longitude?
Yeah, you're not just saying
this
farm. You have to put in, so they have to stop and get that information. But good on them for doing that, so that they could eventually get to where they're going. Let's do some oil wrestling, guys.
I wasn't expecting this. Do they really ever have these kind of like this very Survivor, in my opinion, this type of challenge? I was like, interesting. Also interesting that they were allowed to do it 2-on-1. I was like, okay. I mean, this guy looked big and strong, so I would imagine that it would be difficult to get him out of the ring, but
Oh, I loved the 2-on-1. Yeah, because at first we just see Frankie going for it because Angel's not getting involved.
She doesn't want to get her
But
hair dirty. It was her, right?
yeah, she didn't. She just washed her hair, so she's not going to do that. But then we see the sisters like in there together, and at which I'm like, great, yes, please give them any leg up that they can. But I think they still have to do it a couple times there. Like just having two people in the ring does not actually help you.
Well, we learned that the technique was to, like, when you start, both of you charge at the guy at the same time and just like push him out of the ring, because our faves were, I would say, the strongest duo to like knock their guy out.
Yeah.
We're scientists.
Yes. Jameis is so proud of himself when they're walking up. He says, I put the coordinates in right. Which I just loved. I thought that was adorable. Jameis and Chelsea are going to come out second place because Angel and Frankie are going to finally come out first here, or figure out that they can both do it. They get out first. But that's good for Jameis and Chelsea. Paco and Maury are excited about this. Wish it could have lasted longer, but they're just too quick, and they are going to get out third very fast.
Yes, they are really having the time of their life, and I want them to win for the fact that I think that they are going to appreciate every moment on this race. I feel like the most, like they're just gonna they love every experience.
Yeah.
Like they're so kind to each other, so supportive. Like they have a life together, and I would love to see them win to continue with their life, and I want to know everything about them. So
right.
Yeah, I want them to win for that reason.
Love them. The blondes are going to be really exciting here. They did really well, and they're going to get out fourth place. But our couple and our boat moms are going to be our last teams here, not quite getting into the oil wrestling.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be great at this.
I don't think I would, and I think I would have some nerves. I'd be nervous.
Yeah, I don't really
and that would get in my way. I don't think I'd be like, here I come.
So if it was me and you, though, we'd have to strategize it and be like, okay, we're gonna start go at the same time, like 1, 2, 3, get low, and let's just plow through him.
I'd be like, you take his knee and I'll take his arm or something, like hip, or like we'd have to figure it out because I would be so timid and not want to just like touch.
Hey, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
So me too. I was thinking like who would go on which side, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We always are circling back to the fact that I don't like to touch. Okay.
At least it's not like a full wrestle. Imagine it was like a wrestle.
I don't like it.
Do you have any Taurus in your chart? Or are you just all fire? No Taurus. Yeah. Okay. I don't really have that much Taurus, but
I have Capricorn and Virgo, but no Taurus. I am all fire and earth. No air.
No. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to cry. Got it.
That's right. That's right. Okay, this roadblock is the Evil Eye talisman that we're going to make here, and it looks hard.
Definitely looks hard, but I liked it. Like, it's an activity that maybe I would do on a date or like, with a group of friends. I definitely, it's kind of like making pottery or whatnot. Right. And so I thought it was a fun task that was relevant to the area.
Right. I mean, like, I feel like a family trip or a girls trip to Turkey, you'd be like, let's make one of these.
Yeah. Love it.
It's true. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Frankie is there trying first. He's going to struggle a little bit, but he is still going to be able to get out first. We see Chelsea there. We see the hubby there. But Heath is actually going to be able to pass a few of these people and get out second place at this point. The hubby's going to go out third and Chelsea fourth.
So there was two workshops. Was it just two of the same thing, but they just only had like a couple stations at each of them? Mm-hmm. Do you think that they were intending that like one would be full and then be like, oh, we have to go to the other workshop? Like how, or is it just having two options?
Yeah, I think it was just having two options. So you could kind of like, I don't like that team. I don't want to sit next to them.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the other one. No,
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, if one filled up, you had a second one to go to. But this is when we start to see Tammy just a struggling. She is not figuring out how to work with this glass. It's hardening. It's not, she can't even make it round at first. It's just like a gloop. She's like literally like, check. And I'm like, this looks like a gloop. This is not,
don't check this.
this is
It's not good.
not
Not
even
good.
close. Not
I
even
feel
close.
like I've seen. Oh, I know where I've seen this type of challenge on. Have you watched? I think his name is Amaury. He's the chocolatier that like has a
Mm.
show on Netflix. And so there was like, one challenge where they had to blow sugar into glass and stuff like that. And people couldn't do it because they do it a little too much, a little bit too little. And so it reminded me of that, the difficulty.
Okay. Oh yeah, and maybe the heat. I mean, it's a lot of furnace. It's a lot of heat. But it was also, it's not huge. Like you can only fit so many people. Oh yeah, and then Jameis was like, "That's the thing Chelsea gives me every day." Jameis,
Well,
good
he
sense
should
of
maybe
humor.
give her the evil eye and then ward off the evil spirits around her. Like, you take that, Chelsea.
Jody and Claire, whichever one it was, burned her hand. I think it was Claire. Burns her hand. That looked intense. She just completely grabbed the hand, the part that was in the fire.
Don't like, I can't even, like, it just makes
So
me like,
hot. So hot. So even though we see like she does finish the task, we see the aunt and niece, Tiffany and Cynthia, go out last, but because Claire stops to get her hand bandaged, they actually leave last place at this point.
which I'm just like, no, come on, you guys
No.
are doing so well. This was such a silly mistake. Oh, so silly.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It didn't need to happen.
Now we have a detour. Sweet obsession or street procession. Now, you and I talk about how we love a dance challenge. We'd be good at it. I think I usually would choose it. But this sweet one seemed so easy.
So, yeah, I would definitely have chosen the sweet one.
Yeah.
Like, that's the throwing it into the umbrella, correct?
Yeah.
I was
You literally just twisted it up and threw 50 over your shoulder.
But it did seem maybe
hard.
did like, was it teams at the back of the pack that ended up doing it? Because like it didn't seem like they finished that quickly.
Right.
Compared to the dance challenge. But I would have been like, I think we're just gonna throw some bonbons over the edge and like, let's not do another dance challenge because we might have to line up, we might have to wait in turns. Like, let's do something that we can have control of the timing. So we would.
Yeah, I mean, usually these other sides of a dance challenge is like some sort of physical manual labor type thing, which I usually would prefer to skip anyway. But this one just seemed so
easy.
Although the dance didn't seem hard.
But harder than the dance that they just did before. Right. So, like, if you're not great at dancing, this seemed a little bit harder. They're moving through, like, the alleyways. They have other people around them. It could be confusing. So, yeah. I would definitely have chosen the bonbons.
Yeah. This would have been a different story for Tammy and Vincent had they chosen Sweet Obsession. But we're not there yet. So wrap your sweets up, throw them over your shoulder. Someone's going to catch them in an umbrella. That's so easy. Or this folk dance in the street. So the road that it takes to get up to this challenge was so stressful in itself.
Well, I mean, I
guess it's not a road.
It's like so treacherous. You're just like, it's poor people. But we do like torture, so.
Right, I do, but I was tense. I was like, this isn't a road. There's people or stuff. Oh my God, it's so scary. Especially when you're in another country and you don't know if you're completely incorrect.
Yeah, they're being like, what are they doing? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, get them out of the road.
So Chelsea is also going to be stressed out at this point, and she's going to say, never mind, I'm just going to park way over there and we'll walk it. And they give us a good, clear moment in the edit, so we know that this is going to pay off later, where she says, will leave the bags behind. Shut the trunk, off they go. And you're like, oh boy.
When has it ever worked out for anybody leaving their packs in the car? I mean, unless you're planning on going back there before you go to the next spot.
Which is what you think you're doing. Obviously, you think that.
But
what happens when the pit stop is right there? And that often happens where they're like, okay, now just run over there into the pit stop. It's risky. It's risky leaving your bags behind, but they do it. And then they're going to walk forever because their car is parked not in the right place. Angel and Frankie are going to get at the dance first, and they're going to get out first. This is Angel and Frankie's leg. They're just absolutely killing it.
Have you started following them on TikTok yet?
No.
Because they do show that they love dancing, and they love dancing on TikTok. They definitely show a little montage.
Look, this is not dancing. I got news for you, TikTokers. That ain't dancing. Angel's like, oh my God, we love to dance. And they cut away to TikToks of them going, that ain't dancing.
Give me a fuete. Come on, something.
Yeah. That's not even choreography. Like, I'm sorry, that's TikToking, which is a thing. Cute on you. But the fact that they have all those TikToks to show us just makes me go, Frankie, why are you at her house so much?
Yeah.
Go on a date.
Or maybe
go hang out with someone else.
Thinks that he might be her gay best friend, not realizing that he's in love with her.
Well, I mean, if he's her gay best friend, I would.
But
like
she
to see
thinks
him
he's
also
gay,
on
but
a
maybe
date.
he's not gay. Maybe
I don't think he is. I think he's in love with her.
Yeah. So, but she thinks that he's her gay best friend.
She's treating him like he is,
right?
And saying, "I don't know, maybe someday," and stringing him along. I'm writing fan fiction. I don't know if any of this is true.
We'll investigate as we get to know them.
But what I do know is this isn't. That's what I know.
Like, if they had known what vigorous one of those two training we've gone through in our lifetime, like TikTok dancing is definitely not dancing. So I'm with you 100%.
Thank you.
Like it isn't dancing. It's not good. And just the fact that like some of these young people like have 50 million followers, and I'm like, but she's not even a good. I mean, actually, Charlie is a good dancer. She is. But like,
who's Charlie?
Charlie, she'll be on Dancing with the Stars.
She's a TikToker that's on
it.
Yeah, no, like there's a whole dance TikTok, like the actual Dancing with the Stars. So you think you can dance? Like actual dancers do dance on TikTok. So I'm obviously not talking about them. I'm talking about the young TikTokers who think this is dancing.
But she is the young TikToker that does those type of dances.
Gotcha.
But she actually is a professional dancer, and she can tumble and stuff like that too. So yeah, I'll take that back. But
we'll see. She's a different story. Yeah. She's no Angel and Frankie. Okay. Chelsea and Jameis, they're going to show up at the suites first, and they're going to rock it. And Chelsea's in a good mood, and it's great to see. She's having fun. They're so excited. They're going to run out of this challenge. They're going to read the clue that the pit stop is next, and in pure joy, going to run to the pit stop.
They're doing, and do you know what, though? I even forgot about the bag.
Oh, really? Even though the edit is like showing it to us.
Yeah, no, but when they got there, I was like I forgot in that moment. And when they got to the map, and I was like, ooh, oops.
No, I was like, when are they going to remember? Like, when are you going to remember? Like, when are you going to remember? And they do not remember at all. All right, Heath and Tony, Flick and Gabby, they're going to come out of the dance challenge second and third. They don't seem to have any trouble with it. But guess what? Tammy and Vincent, not nailing this dance.
Love you, Tammy and Vincent.
Love you.
But I don't know why you guys chose to do this dance challenge when you know Vincent is rhythmically challenged. Like,
right?
They should just not have done this challenge. Like, not even have thought to do it. And after the second try, I think it would have been you know what? Let's try the other one, because I don't know if we'll be able to get this quickly enough.
I mean, changing is hard. Changing detour is difficult. But if you already know your partner
Can't
is
dance.
not that coordinated, yeah, why are you there first off? And after the second time, call it. You got to go. You cannot do it 6 times and then call it.
They did 7 times in the end, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah. That's too many times.
It's too many. It was
And
really
having
hard
people
to
in
watch.
front of them doing it over again. So like the amount of time waiting in between to go do it again and get it wrong, I really think that they would have been fine if they had just switched to the candy.
Yeah. I really wish that they had. I mean, Tammy was already kind of in a bad spot, like just struggling because she was having a hard time with the evil eye. But then she's like, Vincent, you gotta get this. Like, tell me
Yes.
you're gonna get
She's
it.
like, arms up here, like the arms are up here. Like he's like,
He's like, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, again, they're so positive and great, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then you're not doing it. It's like, come on. Oh, it was so hard to watch. It is gonna take them 7 attempts before they get out of that. We see the Dragon Boat moms finishing the sweets, and they read that the pit stop is next, and they know they have to go back and get their bags.
But they do debate it as well,
Yeah.
though, slightly, and I'm just like, you always need your bag.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, luckily Claire's like, no, always. That is a race rule. I know that. You know that. They should know that. So yeah,
I've even
at
seen
least
on The Amazing Race Canada one season, someone lost their passport and they actually had to be eliminated from the game. It's like, these are just like, that's the things that are in your pack that you need to have with you at all times to be racing. And so, yeah, bring your pack. Even if you think maybe I don't need it right now, bring your pack to the mat.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
obviously, if you're like, the pit stop's right here, my car is way far away, you don't want to run over there just for no reason, but you know you need your back. So they know that. They head straight to their car, which is going to help them. Angel and Frankie get to that pit stop first. No surprise there whatsoever. Heath and Tony are going to make it in second place, our married couple. Flick and Gabby in third place. Solid top 3.
Now, what's interesting with Heath and Tony is that they do pretty well, but there's really not that much coverage from them. Like, I don't know much more about them than I learned, in the beginning episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in it a little bit, but yeah, I guess they're not as entertaining as the hubbies. Like, we get so much from the hubbies
It's true.
and the sisters.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're gold. They're good.
Yeah.
I think Tony gets stressed out.
It's true. Heath is very positive.
Yeah. This is when Chelsea and Jameis show up. They would have been 4th place. But good old Scotty, who's like, I'm new to this, but I'm being told, where are your bags? And they, of course, are just like, oh dear, Chelsea is going to have a classic Chelsea meltdown. She's giving up all the way
and
to
it's
the car.
Her fault. Oh,
that's tough. I mean, on one hand, it's great because she's not blaming Jameis this whole time. Had it been Jameis, oh lordy, we wouldn't have heard the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just like, this is it, going home. Done.
Well, and this is the thing, though. I don't know if they heard what placement that they were in, but they have time. Like, they have people that are still, like, 4th place. They have, like, 8 or 9 teams, like, still ready to come in. Like, they have time to go get their damn bags and come back and still stay in the game. So the fact that she automatically went to, like, we're out of this game, we're out of the running, like, I don't even want to try anymore.
That's just her. That's just her. That's where she
switch.
goes. She's up here. She's down there. She's all over the place. Like, there's no middle of the road with her. Although I will say, when Holly and, was it Jake or Jack, the models, and I was like, y'all got a 30-minute penalty. Stop your whining. You're going to be fine. They turned out not to be fine.
I'm like,
so maybe, even though it seems like you've got time to go back to your car, you never know. That could have been.
Never know. It definitely could have been it, especially if you don't really remember where you parked the car, and you're in a foreign country and you are panicked and your adrenaline's rushing and there's a lot of pressure. Fine.
Yeah.
But just do it. Get it done. Just be like, we gotta
Yes.
find our bags first. Let's go.
I know. I definitely believe in like, wait till you're on the mat and they tell you you're done, right? Then go through it. Then yell at yourself, get mad, cry, whatever it is, but while you're still in the race,
You're
do
still
the
in it.
race. Yeah. So Paco and Maury are going to end up coming in 4th place here, our most beloved hubbies here. Top 5, Morgan and Lily are blondes. Decent showing, ladies.
Yeah,
Loving
I
it.
was like, I'm like, oh, are we going to get to know them a little bit more? Like,
Yes.
hey, looks like I like this.
Yeah, right. I'm like, great. We got contenders here. Fliss and Toddy, 6th place. They're the only ones who knew who Scott were. They show up on the mat and go, Brain Patrol? And I was like, oh, thank you. Give me some insight here.
Like, who is this guy? Thank you,
Yeah.
youngin.
Lauren and Steph, 7th place, our cop couple. Kelly and Georgia, our tattletale teachers, are going to come in 8th place.
It's never going to get old.
Forever, that is your name. 9th place, Jody and Claire, our boat moms. Went from getting burned, also not having your bag, came in just fine in 9th place.
I know, I'm happy about it, but it's just like, it just scares me when they're near the bottom because like anything could happen.
Right. Absolutely. 10th place, Cynthia and Tiffany, our aunt and niece. I wrote down here, have some energy with 5 exclamation points. Did you guys see them walk up to the mat?
Maybe, did they think that they were done? Like, I don't know. Yeah, they kind of always do that.
They have no hustle.
No hustle or no excitement
energy
to be there, or like, doesn't care if you're eliminated or not. Like,
why are you guys so, just like.
I think they must have only gotten on the show because of the team dynamic of like being an aunt and niece.
It is
because like they're definitely not a personality. Like, I'm just thinking about like how I would be like going to the mat. Like, I'd be like, like, oh my God, I made it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be animated. Like, there's no animation whatsoever with these two.
Give me like, oh, great, the day's over. Give me something.
Or like, I'll be dramatic. I'll go to lie down on the mat and be like, oh my God, we did it. We're here. Tell me we're still in the game. Like, I don't know.
Give me something. These ladies, I don't want to root against you, but I have got to see something more.
But like, I actually don't physically understand how you could get to a finish line and not have any sort of emotion, hustle. Like,
you're on a TV show.
It's not me. I mean, we're both performers, so we're used to being maybe extroverted. But like, I just can't imagine not having any sort of reaction to finishing a leg of the race.
No, I can't either. I don't understand. I just don't get it. But there we are. Okay. 11th place. Chelsea and Jameis, they show up on the mat, obviously thinking they are donezo. They're standing there, and Scott's like, you came in 11th. And Chelsea's just like, I don't know how. What happened? And I'm like, well, Chantele said you had the time.
Yes, you had the time. And maybe she was doing a little self-sabotaging there, like if she starts thinking too much that like if we're out of it, it will lessen the blow and the disappointment if they do get out. And so I think that that's also kind of what she was going through, is that like she kind of gave up and she wasn't out of it. So hopefully this will change how she is. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, we are who we are. So sadly, that means Tammy and Vincent are going to show up here in 12th place and be eliminated.
Love them, but that was a bad decision.
It was.
All around.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the upside is it was a game decision, right? They messed up in the game. And when you go out because of the game, then I feel like that's the most fair these shows can be, right? Mm-hmm. You messed up at the game, and so you're out. So I can't be upset about that part, but I did enjoy their personality. I really loved watching them. So just again, personality wise, I'm sad to lose.
And you know what? I think that I don't usually love people switching detours, like
Right.
learning curve, all that stuff. But I would have been so rooting for them if they switched detours and they're like, hey, we could do this. Let's get this fast. And like, we'd see them trying it really quickly. And even if they still came in last place, like the hustle that we would have seen from them trying to stay in the race would have been enjoyable. And I would have been really, really rooting for them. But this way, it's kind of like, she even said it. She's like, what's the definition of insanity? Doing something over and over again, expecting different results. And she didn't use that as an opportunity to change their result. And so I was like, darn it, guys, I want to be rooting for you, but you did it to yourself in this one. Kinda.
I know they did the wrestling test so well. She flew herself at him and knocked him out of the ring. I mean, that was so great to see. I don't know why they didn't do the candy. I'd like to ask them. Because if they had done the candy, I have to imagine Chelsea and Jameis, their mistake would have gotten them out. And we'd be like, we can't feel bad for you. You guys screwed up.
Because, yeah, actually, you're right. Because we don't know how long, obviously, it took them to retrieve their bags, but we do know that it took them a long time to keep on doing this dance task. Yeah. And so if they had just stopped doing that dance task, like maybe at round 6, maybe, or even 5, and gone over and done the candy, I do think they would have knocked out Chelsea and Jameis.
Maybe. I feel like they should have switched it like 2 or 3 tries, not.
I mean, yeah. But like when she had time to make that confessional about the definition of insanity, was like the last time that she should have been doing it.
Right.
She'd be like, let's go. We got to go out of here.
So sad. So sad. But that takes us to episode 9, guys.
Nueve.
Going to Alicante, which looked gorgeous on the coast. Beautiful water, beautiful beaches. You got to get 2 ice creams here. And this guy's just going to play with you. This is just a silly task. Angel and Frankie, who are still leading the pack here, they're going to get it first. And they leave as the next teams arrive. Like they are always very much ahead of the pack.
Now, do you think that this is going to be how the whole season's going to go with them being in the front? Or are we going to get a task that she's going to freak out on? And like, I kind of want to see that soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that there's so many teams and there's several other that are really good as well. I think that Angel and Frankie are a strong team, but I don't think they're far and ahead better than everyone else, right? They're just getting a good lucky streak going.
They're also consistent, though.
Consistency is key, very much so. But I have to imagine they're going to get passed up here, and I don't know. I think they're going to stay up here in the top teams, but I just don't know that they're going to be first every time.
First quite a few times so far.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being biased.
That's fair.
I don't know, but Heath and Tony are going to be able to get their ice creams and get out second. Then we see the hubbies, the sisters, and the blondes all together. But the back of the pack here, Tiffany and Cynthia and Chelsea and Jameis are going to be our last 2 teams coming out of this ice cream little mini challenge.
So what do you think of the little pun for the next one?
You guys, welcome to my most favorite challenge I've ever seen on Amazing Race.
It was great.
This was so good. And yes, the pun, Turkey O'Drift, love. Great. Turkey O'Drift, hilarious. They've got a minute and a half to finish this course in a car boat.
I've never seen anything like it before. I thought it was really fun, like a really great experience. Like I've never heard of it, seen of it, and I would love to do it. It would seem like it'd be a good time.
I want to do this so bad. I loved it. I loved watching it. So exciting. And yes, Bo eating ice cream throughout. I mean, Bo in quarantine is just so entertaining. He's great.
Love Bo in Quarantine as well, but not as much as I loved this challenge. I was like you. I was
Yes.
like, this is cool. This is a cool one.
Claire and I, one and the same. Claire is the Dragon Boat mom who was like, yes, give me this. I have a need for speed. And I was like, oh, yes.
Well, and after when Claire did it, like she was so badass. I was like, yes,
So
Claire.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun to watch. Now, Chelsea, on the other hand, wait, was it Chelsea or was it Angel? I think it should be Angel. Why did I write Chelsea?
I think Chelsea made up some time though, but I don't remember.
Angel would have been the first person to do it. Angel is like, here I go. She thought she was flying through the course, and they're like, no. Yeah, not so much. That was too slow. You got to do it again. But she is able to do it right away again because they have such a lead. No one else is there yet. What I also love about this challenge is it is one where you can make up spots or lose spots. I do enjoy when you have to go back to the end of the line to have to do a second or third attempt or whatever, and that we start to get to mix up the order.
Yes, agreed. And I also love seeing some of these female teams where the woman just kills it, like it just like does such a good job, and they just do it in their one try. And I was proud of a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, yes. Tony almost hits the safety boat. She is flying. That looked like a crash about to happen, but luckily no. Gabby's going to get it in the first try, so she's going to be out second. Good for the sisters. And then we start to see Amori and Lily doing too many donuts.
Well, one too little, wasn't it? I thought that Maury didn't finish. Many. I thought he didn't finish the second rotation. What it was.
He kept going. The first time he does it 4 circles.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
And then Lily does like 3. So clearly it was a little confusing on like where you started and where you ended, because they just kept going to then exit, and they're counting that as too many donuts.
Gotcha. I was confused because I thought it was like, is he not doing, and I thought he wasn't doing enough rotations, but he was doing too many rotations. Gotcha.
Yes. And then Paco was so funny because he's like, no, count it. But then like they're going to end up doing this so many times that like Paco's like, oh my God, why can't you count? This is so.
Now, I love them, but we love rules. And rules. Isn't there a rule that you can't help your partner when they're doing a task?
Yeah, I thought so, but everybody was yelling like, too slow, go faster. So I don't know what the rules were for this one.
So I just was like, I hope they don't get this like a disqualification or something for the fact that he said to him like, to whatever he said something for kind of specific as to what he was doing wrong. And so we've seen in the past where it's like they had to completely be quiet and just like walk away when their partner is not seeing the clue or doing something correctly. And so I was worried that because he kind of helped him a little bit that they might get dinged. And I was like,
maybe this was okay. Thank you. I was like, I don't think this was an actual roadblock because when they were running up, they were both reading the clues in all the teams. Like we would see them be like, so you do the figure 8 and then you go through the donut. So it didn't seem like only one of them.
Maybe it's kind of like the magic carpet task where they both were doing it, but one was actually like on driving. The carpet.
Yeah.
Okay. That helps me feel better. And that makes more sense. Okay, great.
I was like, yeah, this vibe is totally different. Like they seem like they're working together. Let's see. Not surprised that Kelly drives like an old man. That's my next note
here. Yeah, I wasn't surprised at all. I feel like
anyone surprised that he was like, here we go, speedboat.
Definitely not a fire sign.
Then Claire comes in here like a bat out of hell, leaves 41 seconds on that clock. She was like, what? This is how you do it.
Yes. I was so pumped with her speed and her badassness. Like, she was like, no big deal. Like, she was so cool about it.
Loved it. Loved it.
Very cool.
She's out third place here. Like, she bumped up so many spots. Really excited for them. Then we do see the kids, Fliss and Toddy, a bit lost, driving around, not sure where they're going. But once they get there, Toddy is able to do this really well on the first try. And they also make up some spots.
Now, I would imagine, though, this task is pretty challenging just for not maybe being able to see the buoys. And so, like, I'm wondering if how like the water is swelling and stuff like that, if it makes some passes a little bit more challenging. So I would love to try it. I need to see what it would be like to do it, because like it looks like it's hard, and I would like to.
I would like
pedal
to
the middle.
Well. I would like to try it.
Is it only in Turkey? Did they create this task?
I know.
Can we find it somewhere else?
I'm sure we can find it. I'm sure somewhere else can do this as well.
Girls trip.
Let's go. Speedboats. All right, Lily is going to finally get this. They're out second to last, and Maury is going to get it in last place.
I was just like,
gotta say, this is the first time we're seeing the hubbies in the back, but Maury's attitude was amazing the whole way through. He was like, I'm sorry, I got it. I'm working on it. I'm focusing, like he was making mistakes, but like he never got that defeated vibe about him.
Which is great, because as soon as you get the defeated vibe, you might make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so I love that he was still in the game. I was worried as heck for them. And I was just like, oh my God, they're leaving in last place here. Like, I can't. I can't. I'm like, not a limb? It's the first time I'm ever looking for not a limb.
I was like, well, we didn't have one last time. Is this going to be a non-elimination? Went 100% the same. I was like, we're going to have one. We will not be able to lose our hubbies is where my head was at this point.
Totally agree.
Turkish Delight. Finally. My gosh, we're in Turkey. Give them some candy. I've never had a Turkish Delight though. Do you like them?
Me neither. And it's funny that there's more Turkish Delight talk in my reality TV world, because on Love Island there was a person who she called herself the Turkish Delight because she was from Turkey and she's beautiful, and her name was Ekinsu. And so like I was going to try a Turkish Delight like for the first time on the channel, but I completely forgot about it because I'm going to have to like find it somewhere. I don't know where to find any Turkish Delight really. And so I wanted to actually do a taste test of it like a month ago. But I forgot.
I hear people talk about them, and most people love them. I don't hear negative stuff.
What I heard is you like it or you hate it. That's what
I've heard. But is it gummy? Is it gummy?
I'm guessing. I actually don't know.
Oh, we don't even know.
I feel like it's a perfumey kind of flavor though. Like a very, very aromatic-y kind of flavor.
The chat likes them.
Really sweet. I don't like sweet, really, personally.
Yeah, I'm not a sweets person, but I'll take like one bite of a candy if it's good. But I think I'm under the impression they're gummy, chewy. And I don't like gummy chewies. And I think that's why I've never had one, because I just like stay away from like those sour gummy type things. And then as an adult, I learned that stuff's made from gelatin, and gelatin is not vegetarian. So then I don't try them just because of that. So I'm not sure if I would ever try a Turkish Delight. I have to look up their ingredients and see what this is.
Well, if I remember, I will try to. I'll buy some for next Tuesday.
You do your tasting and you let me know.
Well, I'm going to taste it here.
I thought you were doing it for Love Island.
No, Love Island's already done, and I forgot about it. But now it seems like I need to know what Turkish Delight tastes like. So
okay, great.
right here next week, this time.
You got it. I'll see if I can remember to remind you as well. Yay! All right. Well, this is a fun, just like another silly task. Like you have to hunt around with no hands, but in a bowl of like sugar.
I think
like
it's icing sugar, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like powdery sugar that could get up your nose, which is what happens here. What is Angel doing? Is my note.
I don't remember.
She goes, she's like, oh, I don't want to get messy. And she just like touches the sugar with her face. And she's like slightly brushing it with her face. In no way are you going to find anything in that bowl with that.
Well, maybe she just wants to see how deep it is or how difficult it
is. She has some things she's just not willing to do. She doesn't like to get messy and dirty. And that is going to trip them up at some point. But luckily, Frankie's like, get out of my way. And he like dives his head in there and is going through it. And she's just grossed out by the whole thing. But he is going to find it. It takes him a while. He gets the yellow Turkish Delight and get out first while Flick and Gabby are arriving. And they're even saying like, oh, it's hard. It takes a while. No, Flick and Gabby are like, we're going diving in, and they get it like on their second. It looks like it's like their second or third.
Yeah, they want to overtake those two, which I can understand why. Especially if they've been winning, they're going to want to come in first place instead of having Angel and Frankie. So I was rooting for Flick and Gabby to overtake them for sure.
Yes, I was absolutely rooting for that as well. Okay, good to know. They are intentionally vegetarian. All right, maybe I'll try them then.
Should we both try the Turkish delights next week?
Let's not get crazy. I'll let you try it first.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask my husband about them and see if it's something I might like, and then.
Well, I actually would really love to see if it's something that you would like live. I want to see you discover whether or not you like it, like in real time.
Okay. All right. We'll discuss that off stream. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Flick and Gabby, they're able to get this really, really quick. And I was like, yes, let's go. The cops had a great strategy. She like knocked most of that sugar out with her face and was just like, clear the bowl, we're coming in. And I was like, that's how you do it.
Who was gagging? Someone was gagging, and I just was like, come on, it's icing sugar. And then I was thinking, like, in movies, sometimes they use icing sugar as, like, fake cocaine. I'm like, it's not going to be that bad for you. But, like, someone was, like, gagging.
There was a lot of snot happening. It seems like there was, I don't want to say it's hard, but, like, it seemed like it was not super
snot might make me gag.
Your
sugar
face.
Won't make me gag. Snot? Like... Yeah, okay.
But the back of our pack here, Morgan and Lily, they're going to show up with no other teams around, and they're going to leave before the hubbies arrive. And this is like,
I was like sick to my stomach. I was like, not that I wanted, because I feel like we did just get a package on the girls, I think, this episode, and I was like, package this episode, that could be bode poorly for them, or maybe they're just gonna like sneak in. And so I was like, oh, I like them though. I wouldn't mind getting to know them a little bit more. And then I was like, oh my god, maybe we're getting to know them more, and like our guys are gonna be out. Like, oh my, I was really stressed.
I actually was right, because I forget when the first package for the blondes happened in this episode, but the first time I saw it, I was like, oh no, the blondes are leaving us. They just had a good leg, and now they're going to leave us. But then I forgot that by the end, and I was like, oh no, what's happening here with our hubbies in last place? So yeah, they're going to do this Turkish Delight thing last here, and we see no other teams around.
There's only one bowl there.
One bowl left. This is very stressful. Let's go through the pit stop. Angel and Frankie, of course, first place. They tried us with editing, but they were so far ahead of the sisters. Like, even though Flick and Gabby got it really quick It wasn't going to be quick enough to overtake
So
the church friends.
is Angel and Frankie going to go on these trips that they're winning together?
I don't know. What is their life? I guess they have to take these trips together so they can do TikToks together, I guess. I don't know.
That's true.
Flick and Gabby, second place. Not too shabby, ladies. Third place, Lauren and Steph. Yay, my cops still in it. Jody and Claire, fourth. Oh my God, Bo Mom's killing it.
Yes, I put like a yes beside Claire.
So excited. Fifth place, Heath and Tony, our married couple. That's our top 5. Then Chelsea and Jameis, sixth place. Like, stop freaking out. You're doing just fine. Seventh place, Tiffany and Cynthia, our aunt and niece. Ooh. I'm like, how are you up here? You don't walk with purpose. You're not even excited about the challenges. I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, I don't know their personalities.
Eighth place is Kelly and Georgia, our tattletale teachers. Ninth place, Fliss and Toddy, our country kids. And then, once again, they're trying to trick me with editing, as both Paco and Maury are leaving, and Morgan and Lily. But I'm like, we already saw there was no one else there. Stop tricking me. But then Paco and Maury stepped up on the mat.
Did see the blondes stop for directions at one point. And at one point in this, like, I don't know if it was when they was running to the pit stop or if it was earlier, they did say, I don't know why we have so much trouble with directions and getting places. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They do. That is their downfall. They are directionally challenged. And I can't believe the editing was real and it wasn't tricking me, and that our hubbies come in 10th place and Morgan and Lily are the last team to arrive and they are eliminated. I still thought it might be a non-elimination.
I thought so too.
But no.
I mean, there's too few teams here right now. Like, what are we at, like 10 teams? Like, what do you mean? We're only on episode 8. We need to have like 75 teams. Like, not a limb. Like, there has to be a not a limb. There's only been, what, 1?
Yeah. We got 2 more teams returning to the race.
True.
Next week, they give us in the preview that they're headed to Colombia and that both of those teams are coming back. I guess quarantine is over for them. So we're about to get more teams, but the blondes didn't wow us out of the gate, but it was fun to see their packages, and it was fun to see when they were able to excel at something. Because they are cute young girls.
And they're traveling. I like them. They're traveling together, and they have some experience of like doing new tasks and activities together in foreign places. Yeah. So I thought that was. I wanted to see that build a little bit more, but obviously they're. Oh, we got this package ready. They're out this episode. Let's get it in there. Yeah, I wish that we got to see more of them though. Actually.
Yeah, I love that they're celebrating their 10-year friendiversary.
Cute.
That's so cute. And yeah, they just seem like gung-ho kind of girls who are like, let's do water sports and let's do, adventures and traveling. And that's just kind of a fun relationship for sure.
Love it. Agreed.
But, I guess learning maps and things like that.
It doesn't happen.
Didn't work.
In this, what is this new generation called?
I don't know. Are we on Gen X?
Z? We're Gen X.
Oh, we're X.
I think there's Z.
So it's XYZ. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Is that who they are?
Oh, actually, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Gen Z. That's what I see. Yeah, that's what I think I see people talking about. How like, we're trying to be like Gen Z if you want to be young.
Okay.
Chat probably knows better than we do. I'm really
Chat's probably all our age this time around.
I know. You guys, we love our little group. Yeah, so this was a fun week in Turkey. It's kind of nice that there were no elimination legs. I do feel like they're kind of winging it because they're going into quarantine and not sure how the season's going to turn out, right? There's no guarantee any of your teams come back.
Well, and
we're seeing that they are, but
were you saying that there's going to be even more of a fiasco? Wasn't that what you were mentioning? That like,
I think I was mentioning the bow part.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Oh, right. That makes sense.
I don't remember if there's more. I just remember headlines back in the winter or spring, whenever this was, that they kept having COVID issues. So I don't even know if there's more.
Right.
This might have been it. I don't know. And this is plenty. 2 teams and a host.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, but there might be more. I have no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Terrible.
27 is still a millennial? Like 38 is a millennial. Right?
Yeah, I guess we are millennial. I don't know. What's different?
I'm not a millennial, but I'm like right on the
I'm
cusp.
on the edge. I'm on the cusp too. I think it's 79.
That's because you and I are the same age.
I'm born in 79 though. I'm like a month later.
Yeah, but I think it's like 1980 that starts millennials.
Oh, maybe you're right, actually.
We're like right on the edge. Yes, I am technically older than you.
By like 2 months. It's okay.
By like 2 whole months. Okay. So yeah, I think millennials get like 30 years? No. How many years do millennials get?
Okay. I'm not a millennial. Millennials who are those who are born between 1981 and 1996.
96. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Fine. Like, what? You can be 40 and could be a millennial, but not 43? Whatever. It's fine. Okay, so what's Gen Z? Gen Z?
Is that 96 to
97 to 2012?
2012.
So we're Gen X. Okay. We're Gen X. Yeah. I like Gen X is the coolest.
We are definitely the coolest.
Generation X. Like, we got the X Factor. We are the best. Yes. Yeah. And then before us are the boomers.
Before us, the boomers take up like.
Yeah, it's a huge chunk.
30? Yeah. How many decades do boomers take up?
1 decade. So boomer.
Oh, just 10?
Oh, wait, there's boomers 3. So there must be 3 boomers. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe 30 years.
I think so. Yeah, I agree with Carolyn. Like, I think even if you don't have, like, well, if you get COVID, you're going to be weaker. But even if you don't have a serious case, if it's a mild case of COVID, but you're locked down, right? Like, you can't leave, you can't see sunshine and have fresh air for at least a week, right? I don't know how long exactly, but you are at a disadvantage. You're not training. You're not.
But you can like map out some of your game strategy now that you've played a couple legs and like
that's true.
You know, we saw how this is a little bit different, but with the Holdernesses, how they kind of perfected some of the things that they were having a little bit of trouble with. And so you would like, if like I would be trying to do something to better prepare for the rest of the race. So
yeah, for sure. I just don't think like my endurance would be as good. Maybe, I'm gonna get winded sooner, that kind of stuff. So it will be a little difficult for them to do that first leg or so, but hopefully they're able to get back into it. I'm excited about Scott. He's a cute little replacement, but it's really fun what they're doing with Bo. I'm glad that Bo wasn't too sick and they're able to do these little cutaways to him.
There's no way that he would want to be just completely giving up his little role here. So he'd be like, I'm fine, guys. Come on. Just give me a camera. I'll do something. Yeah.
Set up a camera. I'll send you some stuff. You know, it seems like he's just like goofing and it's like, don't worry about it. I'll send you stuff. And they're like, okay, we'll use what we can.
Exactly.
I don't even know how much of it's actually produced. But all right, next week in Columbia, or at least the first part of the week is Columbia. We will have that for you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific. And for those of you interested in Amazing Race US, I did a draft and cast assessment with David, James, and Kayla over the weekend. So if you haven't watched that, check that out. Get to know the cast for US a little bit better. We have our teams. We're ready for that new season.
Do you have point system on for your Amazing Race draft?
Yeah, the way I do Amazing Race is the top 5 teams that finish each leg. Whoever gets first place gets 5 and 4 and 3. You go down for the top 5. And then the only other way that I have getting points is a U-turn. If you U-turn someone successfully, that team goes out, you get 2 bonus points. If you get U-turned, but you survive, then you get a bonus point. I'm always trying to figure out how to do more points for Amazing Race, but so far that's it.
Love it.
Yes.
So fun.
So that's exciting. Also, Chantele and I have the challenge finale this week. We are going to do our recap on Friday. I got my schedule for Thursday's press interviews. That's a full day.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm happy that you're going to have all of that like beforehand, before the recap. So we'll get like hopefully a lot of insights and, you know, a lot of more things to really sink our teeth into. So I'm excited.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I loved when Scott was like, "What would Bo do?" Because Bo would absolutely show his face in that icing. Exactly.
Absolutely. Cute.
So that was cute. All right, you guys. Well, we will see you then. Also, if you are watching Big Brother, Chantele did the update with Taryn this morning, and you should absolutely go watch that if you haven't yet.
It was a good time.
It was a good update. And it's short. It was only like 30 minutes, but it was very cute. All right. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us live in the chat. We appreciate it. And if you are joining us later, leave a comment. Let us know how you're feeling about Australia, about Bo, about Turkey, about
Turkish Delight. I want to know about Turkish Delight.
Please let us know if you love Turkish Delight, your feelings on that. Yes. Need all that information. All right, you guys. We'll see you next time.